Hi there, I'm Claire. If we don't know each other already, you can find me at clairemckinnon.com. And this video is for you if you've reached a point in your career where you've kind of got all the success on paper that you ever wanted, but you're feeling that there's something off. You know you want more meaning in your career, and you're possibly considering what the next move might be with that in mind. So this is something that often people come to me with as something they're struggling with when we start working together in a coaching relationship. And I just want to offer some perspectives that I hope help as you dig into some of these bigger questions about what is most important to you and where you might want to take your career. So there's a trap that I often see people fall into as they start to think about this, as they start to consider bigger questions around, well, what is it I really want? What is most important to me? What could a meaningful career look like? And the trap is that it can be hard to kind of put the part of us that wants us to be seen in a certain way to one side, the part of us that wants to kind of keep us safe. This can, if we're not careful, play a bit of a role. And there's a particular exercise I'm going to offer towards the end of this video, which I hope helps you dig into some of these bigger questions. And they're designed, this exercise is designed to really kind of put that part of you to one side. So let me just say a little bit more about this trap and what it can look like. So often something I ask my clients that I work with, and it might be an exercise you've done already, is, what is most important to you? Often this is called values work. I tend to avoid the word values because I think it just sounds a little bit corporate, and that in itself can kind of get us thinking in a certain way, can get us thinking, that list of words that we come up with that are our own personal values needs to look a certain way. And this is at the heart of the trap, really. So if what you come up with is a list of words you'd be really happy standing up and talking to your colleagues about and showing your boss and all the rest of it, it's probably true that you haven't actually got to the real list of words for you. Because part of the reason your career is feeling off is that, some of your personal values probably aren't being honoured. And that will be partly because you are perhaps needing to conform with what's going on around you. And, this is what the corporate world is like. There are lots of opinions and things. When it comes to your values, opinions from others should not be anywhere near what you're doing. So one way to avoid getting caught in this place where you come up with something but it's not actually feeling that inspiring is to really think carefully about who you let anywhere near it. If you're going to share what you come up with and want to explore that with anybody, make sure it's somebody who's not going to offer their opinion, they're not going to offer any judgments, because it's yours, it's your personal compass, and nobody knows what's most important to you but you. So that's the first piece. Just go into work like this, go into doing this exploration, perhaps with the view, do you know what? No one's going to see this, it's just mine. So that's one way you can avoid this trap. And another way is to really open up your thinking by getting creative. The way not to do this kind of deeper thinking is to think, okay, what is most important to me? What could my values be? Is to actually play with it. Play, and because what you're trying to do here is access different parts of you that may have information that you haven't considered. So, for example, take yourself back to a moment in your life where you felt as if you just didn't want that moment to end. It probably has nothing to do with work. It may do, who knows? But a moment you literally just thought, oh my God, I feel so happy. I don't want this moment to stop. And notice what was there, who was there, what was happening, who were you being in that moment. That will give you information that are probably pointing to what would be on your list of values. Another way is you can think about characters in films, fictional stories, films maybe you've watched time and time again because you love a particular character, you love what they stand for, you love what they get up to. Look at the qualities you see in that character, because that will also give you clues about what may be inside of you that wants to be more expressed, what these values could be. Another way you can look at this is go forward in time and imagine your 85-year-old self sitting in a rocking chair. What would you love to be saying about how you lived your life, who you were when you're that age and when you're looking back on all of this? I know for sure that my 85-year-old self would not say to me that she wished I'd worked harder. She'd probably say to me, you know, yeah, your work was a really joyful part of your life. That would be what she would be talking about, not there wouldn't be anything to do with hard work. Yet hard work is often a value, and it was a value I thought I had, and it was on my kind of list when I was younger, before I'd considered some of what I'm sharing with you today. And of course, hard work is important and it gets us things, but is it a core value? Is it something that lights me up, the thought of working really, really hard? No, it's not. And I've come to realise that and see some of this in a different way. So that's just a small example of how you can just get different information from different places by thinking of it in different ways, and just see what comes up. So there's a couple of suggestions there. Be really mindful about who gets involved in this process. Think of it as just yours. That's a really great way to see this. And yeah, get creative and see what comes up. And I think just to add to that as well, you know, this can unfold over time. To get creative, see what comes up, and you know, it might take you a few weeks, even longer, just to mull all this over. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. If what I've shared has been helpful, you might want to check out my YouTube channel. I'm sharing regular videos like this now. You can sign up for my emails on my website. That way you'll always know when there's new content coming out. I also run free workshops most month where I dive into some of this in more detail. Check out my events page on my site and have a look. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, and I'll hopefully see you soon.